First, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And shout out to Yakim that's out there on the four quarters of the earth pushing this truth with all your might. We know that we're at the very end of this and that what's happening as, this YouTube shooting is nothing more than a distraction from what's really going on. What they are not telling you is that the mark is a lot sooner now. The RFID implant is a lot more sooner, and how do we know this? Because you read the headlines, you get the buzzes if you're subscribed to RT Newsletter. U.S. hits Russia with new sanctions, Interior Minister among 38 officials, tycoons, and companies listed. The U.S. Treasury has issued new Russia-related sanctions, adding to the already existed list amount of 40 high-profile businessmen and politicians as well as company. In total, 24 Russians and 14 entitles were put on the list. In a move represents the latest tough measures from Washington against Moscow. U.S. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin accused Russia of a range of malign activity around the globe, referring to what he called the occupation of Crimea and the indignation of violence in eastern Ukraine. Yeah, but they're the ones that fucking invaded Ukraine. Everybody knows that the Zionist entity, which is the United States and the Israeli state, are the ones that put Poroshenko in there and overthrew the Ukraine government, as well as supplying the Assad regime with materials and weaponry. So you see, World War III is right around the corner. That's a distraction, this fake fucking YouTube shooting, right? So here's another one. And this is what's going on in the Zionist entity, the Israeli State and Levant, ISIL. Great Return March. 2 Palestinian protesters killed after IDF fired on the Gaza border. Yeah, and these are, by the way, the biggest weapons they have are fucking rocks. Whoopity-doo. But, that doesn't stop those gutter rats, from attacking them with drones and shit. Israeli soldiers, a.k.a. Amalek soldiers, are seen next to the border fence on the Zionist side of the gutter rat Gaza border. Because I'm going to call them gutter rats. I'm going to call them Amalek. I'm going to call them every filthy fucking name. That's what they did to us. As black smoke rises while Palestinians protest on the Gaza side of the border. Violence has broke out as the Gaza-Israeli border as the Great Return March protests enter their second week, with 2 Palestinians confirmed killed and dozens injured by the Amalekites' defense forces fire. So that's going on there. And here's more. Trump threatens China with $100 billion more in tariffs as response to Beijing's unfair retaliation. Donald Trump has instructed the U.S. Trade Representative to consider slapping China with an additional $100 billion in tariffs, accusing China of engaging in unfair retaliation instead of backing down to Washington's presence. Like, they're going to bow down to this piece of fucking shit, America, right? So, you can see that. Let's see. There's more. Conor McGregor surrenders to New York police after UFC 223 fighters bus rampage. UFC superstar Conor McGregor has surrendered to New York police, but has not yet been charged after taking part in a chaotic attack on a bus carrying fighters following a media event at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Yeah, you can best believe this is a staged event, I mean, come on, man. Like, you would fucking do something like this when you're already making lots of money, unless you were paid to do it. China ready to defend own interest at any cost as Trump threatens $100 billion more in tariffs. Responding to Trump's threat to impose an additional $100 billion in tariffs on China, Beijing said it would not want a trade war, but was not afraid to follow suit to the end to protect its core economic interests. So that's going on there. Okay, here's more. Great Return, March 2. 2 Palestinian protesters killed after IDF on Gaza border. So these gutter rats over there. Israeli soldiers are next to the border fence on the Israeli side of the Israeli-Gaza border as black smoke rises with Palestinian protests on the Gaza side of the border. Violence has broke out at the Gaza-Israeli border as the Great Return March protest enters into the second week. Okay, that's pretty much a revisit of the other one that I already had. So, let's get into some other things here. Let's see some other videos here about what's going on. Okay, I'm entering now into a chat that's going on right now with Elder Apostle here. And, of course, you know, GMS InfoDoc Channel 11, right? So we're going to take a look here at what's going on.
I think that would be a very negative move, actually, because it would create a constituency whose natural interest then is to further the weaponization of space and create a greater danger of actual war in space.
But not all, though. Both the US Defense and Air Force Secretaries have labelled the space plan as unnecessary, bureaucratic and costly, and there has in fact been a space command for over 30 years. It's part of the US Air Force and carries out intelligence operations and makes sure space isn't militarised. Then there's also the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, no small obstacle to any American ambitions to put weapons in orbit. It was created to stop the setup of military bases in outer space and address other
Shalom. Well, we know that's because they want to try to battle against the Most High, who they know is coming back. Esau is done.
Since at least the past 20 years, if not beyond that, the United States has had no interest in any discussion of space arms control.
So, although it's hard to tell how sincere Trump is at this point, one thing is for sure, Trump feels the force is with him.
Yeah, I'd like to start off by saying Barak Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kudash. Yeah, did you see that? You just saw the clip, you know, it says U.S. will have a space force, Trump ready to militarize cosmos. And that you heard that bitch kind of snicker and laugh. They ain't going to be laughing in that day, man. You know, I can tell you that much right now. Matter of fact, you know, since we mentioned that, is that Luke? Is that Luke 6? Luke 6:25. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. And these bastards, they're going to mourn and weep, man. Because they make fun of this stuff. Because it's a joke to them, you know. But they know that this place is going down. They know that the end is near. You know, they know that no matter what they do, they can't keep their system afloat. You know, so they're trying to scrape and scratch. You know, but it ain't gonna happen, man. You ain't gonna go nowhere. Wow. There's a lot of meat on here. Oof. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna hit the point and then I'm gonna jump up. Job 21:21. For what pleasure hath he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? Because they know that this place is going down. Let's see. Let's jump down to 7. Job 21:7. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power? And they have, ever since they came back into power, they've been living it up, man. They've been living it up. You know, but now it's time to pay. You know, like that one dude, he might have been a Jake, you know, Edomite looking dude, was I forget his name. I guess he's a comedian, and he said, all the wickedness that they've done to Jake, they're gonna have to pay for it one day. But for now, they know, these devils know they gotta pay, man. It says their seed is established and their sight with them, and they're awesome before their eyes, because they don't have problems like we have problems. Go to Psalm 73 and hold that on deck. These devils do not have problems like we have problems. All right? It says their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of the Most High upon them. But now things are slowly but surely turning towards them and starting to affect them, because it's time for a change. A change is coming. A world change is coming. And Esau, you Edomites, you so-called white people, your kingdom is going down and our kingdom is coming up.
Shalom, and that's I definitely recommend you watch them. You probably are anyways. But all right, I'm going to read some scriptures also. So, anyhow, the idea, though, is that we're entering slowly into the mark. As you can see, that they're deliberately crashing the economy. Slap these tariffs and all that is because they're working together. Because remember, China has already gone cashless, so has Japan, and Russia's all for this. So this is going to be a worldwide global currency change, and the only way to do that is to kill the U.S. dollar, to pretty much kill the whore. So we're going to read out of Revelation. You should know this already, chapter 13, verses 16 and 17. And causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. What is this mark? This is an RFID implant. It's a chip. And that no man may buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Yeah, and so having the name of the beast, meaning that you've been chipped, you have it, it's embedded in you, or the number of his name. And if you go to Chase Bank, it'll say cardless right there, So if you're cardless, that means that you already have the chip, in your right hand, because it even shows the symbol, Anyhow, that's just it. That's where all this is going, and that World War III is already here. Because when you start doing that, that means that, you're kicking out ambassadors, and pretty much they're aligning with Russia to get the whore out of the Middle East. They are fucking sick of U.S. and the Zionist occupation, because the Zionists are really Amalek, who runs both the United States and the Israeli state. They want these gutter rats out of the Middle East, and they know that this is the great Satan. So, hope this has been edifying, and watch Elder Apostle's video, man, as I'm about to get back there. I just wanted to do a quick lesson here because we can see where all this is going. Shalom.